You know, the conversation that she spoke about when I said, I'll marry you. It was like a bad time, and she was saying things like, you know, nobody's going to be there for me, nobody's going to support me, and she just kept shooting me down. So I was like, I'll marry you. It was worse. It was the worst mistake I ever made in my life. I got a message from somebody, and it said, Papoose, you don't know who I am, but I'm a big fan of you, and please, whatever.
Papoose and Remy, the couple who everyone looked up to and whose romance was said to be unbreakable. Papoose demonstrated the height of loyalty during Remy's 6 years in prison. He never abandoned her, never entertained other women, and made sure she knew he was so desperate to be close to her that he even tried to endanger his freedom by smuggling a skeleton key into prison. But what else could it be? When the system made it tough for him to visit, did he give up? He married her over the telephone, however, making sure when she departed, he was there to make sure she had everything she needed, plan their ideal wedding, and give her the life she deserved. Regardless, they stayed locked in.
Kept shooting me down. So I was like, I'll marry you. And she flipped on me. And honestly, I don't think it was the reason for her flipping on me was what she said. The reason why I think she flipped on me was because I took it like, and I felt like she's been lied to in the past, and men have such a bad reputation for not keeping their word, for not being loyal, for not being there for no one when they're going through hard times, and just not being faithful or loyal to their lady.
Their love journey appeared to have ended happily in 2018 when they welcomed their daughter into the world. They weren't just a husband and wife. They were a power couple that no one could ever split. A proud father, Papoose showed his family unwavering devotion, continuously checking on Remy and their kid, but somewhere along the line, something wasn't quite right behind the scenes, even though everyone thought they had it all. Even though they kept posting things like this, the energy in their relationship altered. Everything was normal. No one could predict what would happen next, but people started to notice little details because something seemed off. After years of faithfulness, Papoose suddenly raised doubts that Remy wasn't giving it his all. It was only rumors at first, but soon things started to build up, and then the biggest warning flag emerged out of nowhere. Remy always made sure to send Papoose flowers on Father's Day, but when he failed to write him a loving card or mention him on Instagram, nobody immediately noticed. Supporters started to worry about what was going on and whether there was trouble in paradise after he abruptly stopped talking about how amazing a husband and father he was. This was the moment that really made people discuss online. Papoose posted an intimate greeting for Father's Day. He uploaded a family photo without Remy in it, and everyone knew something was really wrong. There was also the absence of Remy's child from a previous relationship.
Remy, that is very unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? Because I like them too. Very unfortunate, but you know, we don't be knowing what folk be going through behind closed doors, so we don't know what really happened. I remember I spoke on that one time, but I don't know what really happened. You know what I'm saying? What made everybody move the way they were moving. But I know know about shit, man. Like, it's crazy. I know about this shit. The marriage shit is hard. But I know one thing, like that, you gotta have the right person. You have the right person, it won't.
Then the rumors got even more frenzied, with some saying Remy had been hanging around with the block captain, battle rapper Easy, and not just anybody else. If that were true, then everything was so close to falling apart. On Father's Day, Remy Ma tweeted a single word about Papoose, and the world instantly realized that something was wrong. You already know, if you've been watching them for years, that Remy always made sure that give Papoose some love. Every year on big occasions, she would thank her husband online and remind everyone that he was one of the most sincere men in the game. But nothing this time. No Instagram post, tweet, or note of gratitude. His comments were inundated with inquiries from fans asking where Remy was, why she hadn't written about you, and if everything was okay. Following that, many were really involved. One even penned the comment that said, "You married a woman who was never in love with you, but you were blindly in love with her. But now you're seeing the truth," sparked a frenzy on the internet because Papoose didn't respond or disregard it, which was quite telling.
Living life, regular ups and downs, but you get with somebody that ain't right, but you're gonna tear your ass up, and you're gonna wish you ain't never did that shit, and you probably, if you ain't strong enough, you probably ain't gonna never do it again. But I'm gonna do it again one day. I ain't doing no court.
Okay, so we're done spectating, speculating. Now it's just aggravating. Remy Ma and Papoose, it seems like are finally not together because her new dude or new boo had audio saying she been in my bed. So I talked about this before. I forgot when it first came out. I think we were all blown away like, oh, you cheated on a man that held you down while you were in jail, which doesn't mean anything. By the way, okay? It's way easier to have somebody in jail and be in a relationship. All you gotta do is take them snacks, do conjugal visits, and, talk on them.
Subsequently, the rumors became even more frenzied, with some asserting that Remy had been out and about with the block captain, battle rapper Easy, and not just anybody else. If that were the case, everything would explode up. And when Remy Ma posted a single phrase, the internet immediately realized something was up. In reference to Father's Day Papoose, you already know that Remy always made sure to show her affection for Papoose on big occasions if you've been following them for years. She would annually take to the internet to thank her husband, telling everyone that he was one of the most sincere men in the game. But nothing this time. No Instagram post, tweet, or note of gratitude. His comments were inundated with inquiries from fans regarding Remy's whereabouts and the reasons behind her failure to include him in every post. Rumors started to circulate that Remy was having an affair with battle rapper Easy the Block Captain just when many people believed things couldn't get much crazier. That was not the case though. They were only idle internet rumors, but there were actual signs that something was going on. Videos of Remy and EAS being too comfortable with each other, their body language being somewhat too familiar, and the fact that EAS was hanging out with Papoose were startled by the fact that people started playing them. The thing about Papoose is that he doesn't put up with disrespect, so he was ready to cope with the possibility that his own wife was skulking around with ease. Let's just say that when the rumors started, things didn't go well for EAS when the public started talking about what happened when Papoose and EAS eventually met. The news that Rema was having an affair with battle rapper Easy the Block Captain left people unsure of what to think. But Papoose was clearly not going to ignore it. Papoose has always been a man of respect, so the idea of his own wife cheating on him with someone he knows was too much to handle. Disregard reports that EAS didn't have a good time when he and Papoose finally met. Papoose reportedly addressed him directly, and rather than debating, he handled it with straight hands, as genuine men do. Papoose reportedly didn't need to say anything because he simply swung first and was knocked out in a flash because it was that simple. The battle had already ended by the time anyone understood what was happening, and Easy chose to use social media to act like the victim rather than accept responsibility for the incident. His cryptic tweets, including "You all want something bad to happen to me so bad," gave the sense that he was being pursued in vain. Even made an attempt to criticize Papoose, saying that real men do real things, but guess what? If the reports had been false, Papoose would have stopped them right once, but instead he said nothing, and that said it all. Since he has always been protective of his family, he wouldn't have just let things happen. His name is used to create drama, but the fact that he said nothing and let people think what they wanted was a blatant sign that the altercation was genuine and that the allegations about Remy were more than just rumors. The internet was convinced that Remy Ma had made a grave error at this time, as the rumors had expanded beyond cheating. At this time, Remy had nowhere to go, so everyone was curious about what she would do next. After that, a lot of people became interested and even left a note. It had to do with Papoose actually making contact with a man she was allegedly having an affair with. Such disdain doesn't simply disappear in hip-hop. Papoose didn't respond or deny that comment, which stated volumes and sent the internet into a frenzy. It said, "You married a woman who was never in love with you, but you were blindly in love with her. But now you're seeing the truth."
You come home and you're back in the house and she want to redecorate. Then that's the problem. I told y'all living together. Look at this. Look at this.
Things became worse for Remy Ma, and the block got easier. When the battle rap community unleashed Gay Gotti on full blast on stage, Captain, all doubt about what happened was eliminated. Wasn't going to ignore Remy's many clever strategies, so he publicly challenged her to make sure everyone knew the truth. Interview 828/834. Instead of dismissing it or even rejecting it, Easy publicly exposed her in a way that went beyond normal battle rap contempt, which is why people were talking about his response the most. Silence is a sign of guilt in combat rap, and the person just stood there, absorbing it all impassively, without responding or pushing back. Despite Remy's best efforts to maintain her composure, her image started to crumble as the crowd and the internet went berserk. She was acting indifferent, but deep down she understood that the damage had already been done, and that what made it worse, why was he still reacting when Papoose had already taken care of what he needed to take care of and was now moving on. Continue with the legendary boxer Claressa Shields. This is where things became even more confusing, because Remy and Claressa knew each other before all of this chaos started.